Sauce Gardner moved for 2 first-round picks. He went to the Indianapolis Colts. I would like to ask you if Christian Gonzalez would be worth the same haul if the Patriots decided in the offseason that they would like to get more of these precious, precious draft picks that they cannot be without. And 2 first-round picks are certainly valuable if you're hitting on them.
Mm-hmm.
Would they consider it, and would he be worth it?
I don't know if they'd consider it, but I think he would probably be in that category now where you could get that sort of return for him, yeah. And then part of the reason why would be because at the end of the season, and I think one thing people need to remember about all of these deals is you're not just dealing players, you're dealing contracts. So you have Gonzalez under 2 years of team control, the last year of his rookie deal and his 5th-year option, and then you can negotiate a long-term deal off of that, which gives you leverage to get him signed long-term. And so it would be probably the point, depending on how he plays the rest of the year, when his value is at its highest, because you have term left on the deal. So another team doesn't have to do the long-term deal now, but has the flexibility to do it because he's obviously eligible.
Right. And he would be with a new club where he probably, would want to have to prove himself, or they'd want him to prove himself before they went down that road. But I wonder if they'd consider it, because, they're on some 8-year plan now for when they're going to be really contending. So if they keep kicking it down the road, and it's about to
the
get
tone
more
of the show
difficult.
changed in a week's time.
Well, it
It's
did.
Unbelievable.
It did.
This was like a pep rally. You guys were singing the fight song last week.
It was a disappointing deadline.
It was disappointing.
Kick yourself in the nuts Thursday.
Yeah.
So I think this is the thing the Patriots need to decide with the things that they're saying and the messaging that they're sending through people in the media. Did you try at the deadline and you came up empty? Because I've read the reports that they were in on Jalen Phillips, read the reports that they had called the Titans, right? So they were in on.
I mean, I can give you a few names. I think if they had done something, it would have been for an edge player. Like the guys I know that they talked about with some teams, Draymond Jones, they made an offer to the Titans for him. And then Boye Mafe, which is a name, he wasn't traded, but that was one in Seattle that was bounced around a little bit. I think their main focus, if they were going to bring in help, it was going to be at that position.
They talked to the Dolphins about Phillips to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah, they checked in with Miami. I don't know. I think they checked in with Miami on all their edge players, though it wasn't just specifically Phillips.
Okay, so if they had traded for those guys, would that have blown up their plan? I mean, those are guys that would have required real picks to get. We know what Phillips went for.
Yeah,
you also
Chubb
have So explain to me something. If they had acquired one of these players, let's say they acquire Phillips, and he plays out the rest of the year, and then he goes into free agency and he signs elsewhere, they get a comp pick back for that?
Yeah, depending on what it's a complicated formula that the NFL keeps under lock and key, but it sort of relates to what sort of contract he gets in free agency, and then on top of that, playing time, all of that different stuff in his first year somewhere else.
So the better player you trade for, the better the comp pick is coming back.
Which is part of how the Eagles play this formula, yeah.
Makes sense.
It gets moved. It gets moved a year.
You kick it down the road a year.
It moves a year, yeah. So that's why the Dolphins were saying we need at least a 3, because the comp pick could be as high as a 3rd, which is it's like a sandwich pick in baseball. It's between the 3rd and 4th rounds.
Okay, so in theory, the Patriots could have given up 3rd round pick in 2026, spring of 26. They get Phillips for the remainder of the season. A season I believe in, that they could go on a deep playoff run. I'm not telling you they're going to win a Super Bowl or could win a Super Bowl, but I believe in a deep playoff run, and I believe that's worth going after and chasing. They could have received him, given up the 3rd round pick, added him to their defense, and then instead of having that 3rd round pick in 2026, they're now going to get an extra pick in 2027.
They would get, and it would be marginally lower. It'd probably be 20 spots lower.
So you could trade back 20 spots 1 year later and get Jalen Phillips. That doesn't feel like too steep of a price that it would blow up the franchise.
Now the concern is if he gets hurt, which he's got a ton of injury history.
Yeah, no, he definitely does.
Yeah. You could be left with nothing. You know what I mean? There's that too. So, I mean, there's risk involved. It's not 1 for 1. He's got to go and play really well. And then, he winds up going to the market, or you sign him long term. Again, I just think in this scenario, and do you have to pay a tax too for the in-division part of it?
You might.
which they traded him out of conference. So, like, that's a factor.
So back to my point, they got to figure out their thing. I said this to Zoe the other day. I said, why they want to keep talking about how it's year one? Well, if it's year one, then why are you calling anybody? Why are you calling Miami? Why are you calling Seattle? Why are you calling Tennessee? Is it about year one, or is it about you just whiffed at the deadline and now you want to make it about year one and tell everyone just be happy with the fact that we're
you call
7-2?
I mean,
like, make up your mind, Patriots.
I mean, that's the other misconception is like, it was funny. I was talking to the
No, hold on. I want to stick on this point for a moment if I could. Jalen Phillips is a rental. Mm-hmm. So if you're all about it being year one, well, what are you doing that for? Why are you even checking in on that player? For any of the rentals.
Because you want to have an idea you want to gauge the value on everything. Like you talk to the Dolphins and you're going through a list of players. That's the other misconception out there is like most teams are trying to call all 31 ahead of the deadline and trying to gauge what's available, what's not, and the values of everybody because that helps you value your own players. There's a big process that goes into all of this. And, again, that's why you have multiple people doing it. Like, this isn't just like on a Thursday, someone decides to call up this team. Oh, yeah, like, what about this player? That's generally not how it works.
Why do you think Mike Vrabel was so mad yesterday?
Was he mad?
He's in a bad mood.
Did I miss this?
He was irritated.
I saw the comment about being pregnant, which...
Yeah, that's how he opened.
That wasn't even bad. That was just him kind
that
of...
seemed like a normal Vrabel.
Yeah, no, that wasn't it.
Callahan tried to put words in his mouth.
Yeah, who did he cut off? When
there's another Mel reporter that was asked a question. He cut him off real quick.
He cut someone else off, but it was Callahan was the dust-off.
No, winning is the most important thing. Don't put words in my mouth. Winning is the most important thing.
Should we play the entire Q&A? Did you not catch this, Bert?
I didn't catch...
All right, yeah, but we should play it in its entirety for Bert. He hasn't heard this yet.
The long-term vision for the program, is what's most important here and factored in.
No, winning is the most important thing. Don't put words in my mouth. Winning is the most important thing.
When you guys were discussing how to handle the trade deadline, did the fact of how wide open the AFC currently looks like at all factor into your decision making?
For us to sit here and think that anything is wide open and talk about playoffs, like we're focusing on our 10th game in a row. That's what we're focused on, is how do we get prepared on Wednesday? How do we get our bodies back? How do we get mentally prepared, physically prepared to go on the road to a place that is hard to play? And that's where our focus is. It's not trying to predict the future, saying, well, it's wide open. We're just going to keep focusing on what's in front of us, and that's what those conversations are about.
It's a little crusty.
Yeah, didn't want to dive into any big picture conversations.
I didn't want to talk about the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's only year one, guys. We don't talk about the playoffs in year one. It's year one. It's year one. 7-2. Got a great quarterback. Be happy with that.
He sounds like somebody who's been well informed on the storylines that are being discussed in places like this room.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
we're on the TVs there everywhere.
think,
I love us down there.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Great. I always wave to them. It's friendly. Hey, guys.
Yep.
What's up? Zoe, you want to wave to your friends?
Just checking in with them.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
They're saying it all.
I tell Zoe all the time, you just blame me. I didn't say that. I was being.
Chris Carter fall guy over there. Yeah.
Yes, I'll be the fall guy all the time. No issues whatsoever. I love it.
What did you guys call them? P1s?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an old term. Yeah. We're on. They definitely get NBC Sports Boston in that stadium.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah. It's like an old
Big fans.
It's like an old record. They've worn it out. You start seeing the fuzzy lines on the screen because the logo at the bottom right of the screen. So you didn't remember that? Remember when things would burn into your screen on an old TV?
Yeah.
That's what we got. With the logos just starting to burn into the LED screens down there.
Maybe there's like a little blotch on one of the corners from somebody throwing a remote at the TV.
Yeah. The trade. We had the counter up the other day. The trade deadline timer that was counting down to the deadline.
You think Mike had one of those?
They
in
weren't
his
paying
office?
attention to that.
No,
I can
no.
tell you that.
Whoops. Yeah.
Whoop, they forgot. I mean, we put it on the screen for them to give them a countdown so they didn't miss anything.
Just in case you guys don't have enough clocks, here's one for you.
Yeah, we added one more. We were trying to help, doing our part.